What's going on, everyone? Hope you are having a fantastic day. So, for the trained eye, if you look around me right now, you will notice we are not in a Tundra. Guess what? Got a little surprise for you. It is time for a first drive impressions video. Let's see what we're in. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. As you saw, we are in a TRD Off-Road Premium 4Runner. This is awesome. Before we get started, I have to do a couple thank yous. Thank you to Toyota USA. Thank you to Toyota Motor Sales North America. Thank you to Drive Shop, everyone who's involved in getting me this very, very sweet TRD Off-Road Premium 4Runner. So we are gonna do a little first drive impression review here. Ooh, feels good. I love the 4Runner so much. How could you not? It's a very windy day out here, so that's going to be very good for our impressions video, so we could see how this big old truck handles in the wind. And yes, I did say truck, and I did mean truck, because this is one of the last of the Mohegans right here. This thing is on a truck chassis. It is not like the SUVs of today. It is still very much a bouncy around, feels like a truck, so we're going to call it a truck. It is what it is. Everyone knows the 4Runner, fantastic off-road, but how are the road manners with this thing? I'm gonna drive this thing for the next week, and I'm gonna let you know. And overall, right off the bat on this ride, I already love it. I'm very comfortable in this vehicle. The best part about the 4Runner to me, of the other one that I reviewed early last year and this one right now, number one thing is how comfortable the seats are. The seats really, really grab you. They got great bolstering on the sides. I love that about the 4Runner. I will go ahead and say the 4Runner has better seats than the Tundra. Now, a lot of my reviewing that I'm going to be doing when I do all of these videos this week is I'm going to be doing a lot of comparisons to the Tundra, because obviously this is a Tundra channel. But I know a lot of you absolutely love the 4Runner. We always talk about me potentially getting a 4Runner from Michelle. 4Runner would be a great second vehicle. Yeah, I'm just very excited. If you heard me hit my horn there, that's because the driver in front of me is texting. So guys, stay off your phone and just drive your car. Thanks in advance. Anyway, we always talk about the engine in the 4Runner. It is the V6 4-liter. There's one word when you think of the 4-liter V6, bulletproof. This engine has been around a long time. This thing is one of, if not the most reliable Toyota engines out there. I'm so excited to be in this right now. I absolutely love the 4Runner, but I'm gonna be very honest with everything I tell you guys over this week. I'm gonna tell you what I like. I'm gonna tell you what I dislike. I'm gonna tell you, is this worth it to buy over a pickup truck? And that's kind of what the main thing I want to go at here. Now, there's a bunch of automotive journalists out there who go ahead and they give you the review of the vehicle. They tell you everything about it. With me, what I'm going to do with my review here is I'm going to kind of focus on an everyday ownership aspect. And what I mean by that, I drive a Tundra almost every day of my life. I've always wanted a 4Runner. Let's pretend I bought this truck. Okay, say I traded in my Tundra and I bought the 4Runner. That's how I'm going to go about everything with this video, or with these series of videos that we're going to be doing here. I'm going to tell you what it's like for someone who drives a supercharged Tundra that makes over 500 horsepower and goes to this, which is a 4-liter V6, making just under 300, I believe. So we're going to be real honest with these reviews, but I absolutely cannot wait to tell you guys what I think at the end. But for now, this drive is fantastic. If I had to call out one thing right away, it'll be the feeling of the brakes. And that is always something that I've said about the 4Runner. It has a little bit of brake dive to it. Nothing that you can't handle. It doesn't like lurch you forward, anything like that. But it's one of those things that if I had to call out one bad thing, it would be that. Now, we're in the TRD Off-Road Premium, like I said, and when they went over to the TRD Off-Road Premium instead of the Trail Premium, they also made the moonroof optional. Okay, so the moonroof used to come standard in the Trail Premium, but now it is optional. This one is not equipped with the moonroof. I'm not that mad about it. It is what it is. We have a moonroof in the Tundra. But if I was to buy this vehicle, it would most likely be with the moonroof. Now, everybody likes the TRD Pro 4Runner, nearly impossible to get. So this is something that can hold its own just as much as the TRD Pro, in my opinion. This is the great kind of vehicle that this is right here. It's something that you could take and, you know, you could drive it every day of your life, and it's a comfortable ride. It's not stupid in any way. You know, the TRD off-road, or excuse me, the TRD Pro, I mean, you could drive that daily, but, you know, you get a little more of an aggressive suspension. This has the KDSS suspension on it, so this is as close as you're going to get to the Pro without going Pro. And you could always buy a 4Runner and put Pro parts on it. So save your money up front. We will go over a walk around of the truck. It's very windy today, so that'll be a video in the next couple days when this wind dies down. It's like a sustained 25, 30 mile an hour wind out here. So we're going to wait on that. And we always do the first drive impressions video first anyway, because I do it a little differently than everyone else. But what we're sitting in right now, it's about $40,000. We will go over the sheet when we do the walk around, and I'll tell you everything that's in this. But such a pleasure to be in this vehicle. I love the interior. So everything in here is black, and I'm all about that. The one thing I would like to see Toyota do more of is make the roof inside the cabin black. Kind of like they did with the FRS. Everything in the FRS is black, but, you know, it makes you feel like it's more daytime with the lighter color up top, I guess. But overall, the thing handles good. It feels like it's got tight steering, and that's one of the main things that I love about this vehicle. I don't see, one of the biggest things that you hear people say all the time is they feel that the 4-liter V6, or excuse me, the 4-liter, yeah, I said it right. The 4-liter V6 kind of lags. There's not a lot of power. I don't feel that at all right now. This thing feels like it's got a little bit of get up and go, and it feels really good, actually. All right, so consider this part 2. The other part of the video I made about an hour ago, so I got all my excitement out of me, and now I am driving for feel of the truck. I've been driving around since I shut the camera off. So here's what I've got so far out of this vehicle, again, coming from a Tundra owner. In the turns, it feels a little top heavy, nothing crazy, but you definitely can feel it a little bit in the turns. It is extremely, extremely quiet. And that's kind of one of the things that I want to point out. It is way more quiet than I expected it to be. It is a pleasure, actually. The sound system in this, which isn't anything special, sounds way better than the sound system in the Tundra, and the Tundra is a JBL. Riddle me that, huh? It feels really good all the way around for sure. The steering, like I said, is tight. It gives you good feedback, but when you go into, you know, kind of 30, 40 mile an hour turns, you can definitely feel the truck lay over on itself a little bit. There's a little bit of brake dive, nothing crazy. There is you're basically in a fishbowl, so you can see everything around you. There's not many blind spots. One thing this vehicle is in dire need of, is blind spot monitoring and parking sensors, okay? You do have the backup camera, but that doesn't hurt. Now, I'm very used to parking sensors now, so when I look over in my mirror, I kind of expect to see them, but obviously I don't. Now, you have a good shot back here where you could see no problem. You could see over there no problem, but you never know when a small car or motorcycle is passing you. So blind spot monitoring is very much needed in this vehicle. But as far as the drive, I'm very impressed so far with the 4-liter V6. The last 4Runner I had, which actually was a 2017, I believe it was an SR5 Premium. Like I said, that was about a year ago. It just didn't feel like it had a good amount of pickup. This one feels hungry, ready to go. It doesn't feel like I'm giving up too much when it comes from the Tundra to this. Now, don't get me wrong. I know the Tundra is supercharged and everything, but it doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't feel as heavy as I expected it to feel. This is a 5-speed transmission, don't forget that. So I'm guessing I won't be getting fantastic gas mileage, but so far so good. I'm going over to the screen right now. We are getting 17.6 as per the computer, so give or take a little bit, we're probably getting about 16 in this big, fun, heavy vehicle. But so far so good with the drive. You know, I took it in a bunch of different situations just to see what it was all about. Like I said, I was on a road where I was doing 55, 60. I came over here into Seaside where it's a little bit slower. The roads are a lot rougher over here, so I could feel what the suspension feels like. Very impressed with the suspension. I'm not being bounced around at all, which is just a huge bam, high five to Toyota on that one. I know a lot of people say that this vehicle is outdated, but okay, I'll give you some on that. There are some things in it that definitely need some updating, but overall, this is a pleasure to drive. And if you are in the market for an SUV, I implore you, go test drive one of these. If you need something with a little more fancy leather or whatever you need in it, they have the Limited, don't forget that. If you need a sunroof, you can get a sunroof in this. If you want to go crazy and go all out, try to get the TRD Pro. I really implore you to check this SUV out. Don't just push it to the side because it's something that's a little bit older. There will be an update on this vehicle eventually, but right now it's just about getting from point A to point B, and that is the number one thing that really everyone needs to do, no matter where you are. If you're a vehicle enthusiast, if you're someone who just goes to work in a car, getting from point A to point B safely. And this thing feels like a tank, and I love it, and I got nothing really bad to say about it. Like I said, there's minor things here and there. We'll go with it over the week. We'll talk about it, things to upgrade, things I would like to see upgraded, but so far so good. It was an excellent first drive. So please go down below this video and let me know what you think about the 2017 Toyota 4Runner TRD Off-Road Premium. Now that is a mouthful, and you're gonna hear this entire week me accidentally say Tundra a lot. Now I will say in closing, as a Tundra owner, I still think this is a pleasure to drive, and I definitely hope Michelle wants one, because I would love to have this in my own fleet. So like I said, go below the video, tell me what you think about this vehicle truck. I'm calling it a truck. It is not an SUV in my opinion. Twitter and Instagram at TundraDude34, TundraDude34 at gmail.com. You guys have a fantastic day, and thank you for watching.